chicken poop everywhere. Such a pain. Hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peek's Peak. So when I first got my homestead, everybody made free-ranging chickens sound so enticing. And for good reason. There are a lot of good reasons that free-ranging chickens works well for the chickens and it works well for you. But today, I'm gonna tell you why we're over it. Where did you come from? All right, everybody, on in. On in. In you go. In you go. Come on. Come on. So lots and lots of homesteads out there made free-ranging chickens sound like the perfect life for a chicken, right? They have all kinds of freedom to roam. They have their independence. It makes the eggs taste better. It makes the meat taste better. Lots of reasons why free-ranging chickens is a great idea. Save money on food because they can forage for their own food. On and on and on the list goes. Why your chickens need to be set free to run about your homestead. And all of these are reasons why I have 50 chickens running around my homestead all over the place. But today, I'm gonna tell you why we're gonna put a stop to it here pretty soon. Now, before we get down to business though, I wanna ask you, if you watch our channel and you enjoy our content and you're getting some things out of it, please like, comment, subscribe to our channel. It helps let YouTube know that we're putting out good content and they'll recommend it and it'll help our channel to grow. Now, to tell you a little bit about our setup here on Peek's Peak Hobby Homestead, we have two pretty decent sized chicken coops, which house all of the chickens. And most of them go back inside at night, or at least go under the roof over here and perch themselves on the fence to sleep for the night. We've got egg boxes. We've got the pasture here is all woven wire fence with electric fence around the bottom edge of it. And that mostly keeps predators away, unless occasionally one might slip under the gate. But overall, we've had really good luck with that part of the setup. We have a guinea for our alarm system, and our guinea usually goes just up into the edge of the woods here and perches itself up in a tree and sounds the alarm when there are hawks flying over or a raccoon in the yard or anything like that. We used to have two guineas as our alarm system. So let's get to why free-ranging our chickens is not the best idea for us. The first concern with free-ranging our chickens over such a large open area is predators. Of course, hawks have pretty easy access overhead, and we've not had a lot of bad luck with predators. We've only lost a few birds here and there, but we have lost some birds because of predators. And so without them being in a chicken run and kind of caged in and secure, you lose a few birds that way. And I always hate to see that happen. One of the variables that we have to deal with, and you may not have this issue, but we're right on kind of a main highway that has a fair amount of traffic. And the traffic is moving pretty good, and so we have lost a few birds to the road. They get curious, they walk around, they end up out in the road, and that's not a good deal. I think in the couple of years that we've been raising chickens here, we've lost about 3 birds in the road. And my concerns with that are, one, it gives a bad image to the farm when your chickens are out in the road and people run over them, and then others drive by and they see your dead chicken in the road. So that's not cool. You have liability issues where they could cause damage to somebody's car or even cause an accident. So that's not good. And then aside from that, it's just the fact that it's not really fair to the birds because they don't know that they need to watch out for cars. They're just not smart enough. So we kind of have to be their protectors. The next issue I've had with my birds free ranging is being a nuisance to my neighbors. Now, we've not had a lot of bad luck with that, and we have really good neighbors. We live out in the country and they're all very friendly and not had any problems like that. But you know, we had some new neighbors move in over here, and I tried to be nice and help them out and till up a garden for them and give them a spot to grow some tomatoes and peppers and all those things. And we got their garden tilled up, and they went out and they bought all kinds of plants. And then the next day I got a call that said, hey, you better be careful if you put out your garden because your chickens ate up about 6 or 8 of my pepper plants. So it probably cost them $50 or $60 worth of plants because the chickens went under the fence and over into their garden and started eating. And I felt really bad about that. That's just not being a good neighbor. And so I got to figure out a way to solve that issue and keep them off of other people's property. One more headache that our birds have created while running free is that they tear up all of our landscaping. When we first moved in here, we spent some time to set up flower beds and put down weed fabric and black mulch and make them all pretty and get our shrubs fixed up, plant pretty flowers. And the chickens undid all of that work. And they've tore out the weed fabric, and so we have plastic everywhere. And our flower beds are a mess now I'm ashamed to even show you what they look like because it's terrible how bad the chickens have tore up our flower beds, and then we just gave up on them and kind of left the mess. But probably the most annoying thing that has made me decide to send the chickens to prison is the poop, because the chickens poop everywhere. They poop on the sidewalks, they poop on the porch, they climb on the outdoor furniture and poop on the cushions. If you leave the garage door up, they go inside the garage and they poop on the garage floor. Chicken poop everywhere. Such a pain. Now all of this stuff, it's not the chicken's fault. There's just chickens being chickens. Chickens like to do dust baths, so they dig around in landscaping to burrow a little hole and get down in the dust to protect themselves from, you know, bugs and mites and all that kind of stuff. So they're just doing what they're designed to do. But I've decided there's gotta be a better way. Now I want them to have pasture to get out and eat grass and worms and all that stuff. And so you can see they're all over this couple of acres of pasture here. Now, I can't afford to fence in an area that will keep the chickens in that's that big, but I'm going to try to come up with a solution that will allow them plenty of room to move and, you know, some grass to grow in there and all that. And I don't know how long that'll last, and we may have to downsize our flock some, but that will be okay. Something has to change. And so we've decided we're gonna make that change. One last thing that I'll mention is when you have free range chickens, you can have them trained to lay eggs in the nesting boxes, and we did for a little while until they started laying them under the coop and in my backhoe bucket and next to my implements and under the disc and under the rotary cutter and around back of the house and around back of the garage and underneath the truck and anywhere else that they can find to lay eggs, they lay eggs, and they're everywhere. And then once you have eggs everywhere, I don't know if you know this or not, but chickens can pick up eggs and move them around, and they do. So if you don't find them all, you can have old eggs get mixed in with your new eggs, and so when you're trying to collect eggs to cook, you'll end up with an old rotten egg mixed in with the eggs that you want to use, and that just messes up everything. I had to quit giving away eggs at church and to my friends because I was afraid I was going to give them rotten eggs. So we've got to get this under control so that we can actually have useful chickens around the homestead, because what we're doing is not working. Now, with that being said, one note about chickens being able to lay eggs and sit on them. It's been pretty cool. We've had some naturally hatched chicks running around the barnyard, and we've got some of those out now. And there was one I just found that just hatched this afternoon. So we do have some new baby chicks, and that's exciting. All in all, the whole situation of having 50 chickens running over 3 or 4 acres like we've got, it's just not working for us. So we're gonna have to put a stop to it. Now, all that being said, everybody has a different environment. They have different skill sets and different abilities to be able to keep up with all of these things. I don't have the time or the energy or the want to keep up with 50 chickens running all over creation. So as soon as I can figure out a plan, we're going to change that, and we're going to probably downsize the flock and get them penned up. And if you have some suggestions about the best way to do that, feel free to drop in the comments and tell us what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a good day.